Hey everyone, welcome to the Vegan Test Kitchen. Today we are on episode 5 and we are making home-style potato rolls. So we need these ingredients: 5 to 5.5 cups of flour, soy milk, brown sugar, cornstarch, vegan butter, salt, poppy seeds, yeast, Yukon potatoes. So it says that we need 1.5 cups of mashed potatoes to put in the dough. It said Yukon Golds were probably the best. Let's get to peeling these. So we're gonna put it to high, let it come to a boil, and then probably boil it for about 20 minutes covered. We're making the mashed potatoes first because it's supposed to be cold. So once that's done, we're gonna stick it in the fridge, just chill it maybe for half an hour. The recipe called for just mashed potatoes, so we're not gonna get super fancy with these. I'm literally just boiling potatoes and then mashing them up. So that's all we're doing. So once you can pierce the potatoes with the fork pretty easily, they're pretty much done. So we're gonna drain them, rinse them in cold water to try to help cool them down a little bit faster, mash them, and then stick them in the fridge. Mash the hell out of it. So we're looking for 1.25 cups. We're gonna stick this in a bowl, throw it in the fridge real quick. Okay, now we're gonna get a medium saucepan and we're gonna get 1 cup of warm water. We're gonna put the soy milk in and the vegan butter. Put it on a medium high, let it heat up. It says it once it's scalded, almost just scalded, which seems burnt to me, but that's what we're supposed to do. So let's slightly burn it, I guess. I probably should have looked up the definition actually of scalded. So it probably doesn't mean burned. It's been cooking for a while. It's probably good. Turn off the heat and move it to a different burner. It says to let it get to like a lukewarm temperature. So now what we're gonna do is get a 1/2 cup of warm water and put the yeast in it and wait for a couple minutes till it starts foaming up. I don't know if you're supposed to mix it around, but that's what I'm doing. Probably committing some major mistakes by playing with this yeast, but I feel like it needs to be mixed around a little bit more. All right, we're gonna move this over to the side and let that do its thing. Well, in the meantime, we're gonna mix together the flour, brown sugar, and the salt. Now we're going to put the mashed potatoes in. And they were actually pretty cold, so that worked. And it said it was okay for there to be some mashed potato chunks. We're going to stir in the soy milk mixture and the yeast. Okay, after we mix this together a bit, we're going to see how sticky it is. It says if it's pretty sticky to just keep adding a little bit of flour. See some potato chunks. All right, that's ridiculously sticky. We're going to add some more flour. I feel like a monster. It said to just add like a tablespoon at a time, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, I'm gonna add another one. Let's add another. Add another. This should be the last one. So we added, I think I did about 5 cups at the start, and it said 5 to 5.5 depending on how sticky it was, I think. So I think we're pretty much good. So we're just gonna lightly flour the surface. All right, so you're wanting to knead this until it's pretty elastic. Still a little sticky. I might add a little bit more flour. God. There goes my ring. If you've never kneaded dough before, it's a bit of a workout. So if you haven't exercised this week, this should be a nice substitute. All right, I think it's probably kneaded enough. It's supposed to be elastic and it's pretty elastic, I think. So we're gonna stick it back in the bowl and then we're gonna put a towel over it and then let it rise for 2 hours. All right, 2 hours has passed, so let's see what the dough has done. Woo! That has risen quite a bit. When you push it, it should spring back slowly. It's I mean, yeah, it's springing back pretty slowly. Listen, this is gonna be fine. So we're gonna get the remainder of the soy milk and the cornstarch, and we're gonna heat it over medium high. They said to whisk constantly to make sure it thickens and doesn't stick. Also, new whisk. Thanks, Val. All right, they said when it starts to thicken slightly to take it off the heat and just let it cool. So we're gonna take it off the heat. Now let's preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And we're gonna take 2 muffin tins. They said 12-cup muffin tins and then lightly grease them. I'm just gonna spray it with this nonstick spray real quick. Now one of my favorite parts. It says to punch the dough down. So, you know, just imagine, you know, maybe a certain politician that you just really hate, you can do that. Just imagine that's their face and punch it down. Now we're gonna take it out. We're gonna knead it a little bit more on this floured board. All right, we're gonna knead it just a little bit more. Okay, now it says to roll it into 2 thick 14 to 16 inch ropes. We're going to cut it into, it said 1.5 to 2 inch pieces. This really seems super thick to me, but that's what we're going with. So I'm pretty sure this isn't right because we have 2 tins. This is gonna go into 1 tin and you're supposed to roll each of these into like a walnut size, which already you can see that this is way too big because you're supposed to put 3 rolls into each cup. So let's do a little math here and adjust accordingly. I can't math. Let's just all back together. Now that that's done, we are going to lightly brush these with the glaze that we made. All right, now we're gonna sprinkle on the poppy seeds. And we're gonna loosely cover it with saran wrap and then let it sit for another 25 minutes. All right, now that 25 minutes has passed, we're gonna unwrap these because they wanted them to double in size, essentially. And to be honest with you, if they rise anymore, they'll probably pop out of the oven once they start cooking. We're gonna stick them in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. All right, so I think they've cooled off enough for us to take a bite. Let's rip right into one. There's some potato. They feel really moist and fluffy. They're brown on top, just enough, not burnt. It's a really good roll. This is gonna be great, guys, for the next recipe that we're doing, the next video. And if you can guess the name of the stew that I'm gonna cook, I will bring you a bowl of it with some rolls. And all I'm gonna tell you is it's a Jewish stew. So if you know the name of that, comment below and I will bring you a bowl with some rolls, where if you live in Louisville, of course. I'm not driving to Tennessee or whatever. These are really good. This is gonna be perfect with that. You don't even really need to put butter. You could put some vegan butter on it, but it has a really good taste without it. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I wanted to do one quick shout out to Colleen, who designed our logo. If you've seen our logo, it's brand new, it looks awesome. Thank you, Colleen. She has a fantastic business where they create jewelry and they do etching on wood, whatever design you want. They can create designs. She's a great graphic artist as well. So thanks, Colleen. I just wanted to give a shout out to her. Again, thanks for watching, and if you liked it, hit like, I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Thanks.